So, welcome back, guys. It's your girl Agnesita, and welcome to Ghetto Stories. I'm so excited to be on this new journey with you guys, connecting visually with the audience because some of you guys have been asking, you need the videos. So, here we are. So, on Ghetto Stories, if you guys know, I've been following my Spotify, you know that I've been putting out some episodes here and there. But this time it will be more structured. We'll bring more guests that are more relatable, and yeah, we're just gonna have fun. We're gonna bring awareness to mental health, fitness, relationships, sexual talks, dating life. Hey, whatever you guys want, please comment and go on Instagram at Ghetto Stories, and we will be paying attention. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about the red flags to watch out for in a relationship. Matter of fact, we're going to be talking about red flags, yellow flags, and even orange flags. Yep, I said it. And I'm sure we can all relate to this. And what are red flags, by the way? By a psychologist, not me. I didn't make the definitions, but it shows that it means those are the warning signs that we should be aware of in a relationship, or also some signs or traits that kind of would determine the potential of compatibility in a relationship. So I do feel like even myself, I'm guilty of it. Yes, sometimes we're too blind to notice these signs in a relationship, maybe because we're in the honeymoon phase, or sometimes we tend to make excuses and make it more like situational basis, like, oh, it's just one time, or oh, it was just circumstantial, you know, those type of things. But I'll tell you when you really should be like, hey, this is a red sign. And if it's yellow sign, I'll tell you if it's orange, yellow, or green. Anyways, and also sometimes, guys, whatever I say, it doesn't mean this works for everybody. A red sign for me could be an orange flag for somebody else, or a red flag for me could be a green flag for somebody else. Take, for instance, dating app. If you're in a monogamy relationship, if you're on a dating app, for example, so for me, it's a red flag. But for other people who are in a polyamorous or polygamy relationship, if they do have an arrangement and an understanding, then for them, this is a green flag. You know what I mean? So anyways, what is the first red flag to watch out for? The first sign to watch out for is when you're on a first date and the person you're dating won't stop talking about their ex-partner. Oh, my dear friend, that's something to watch out for, because it's like, hey, if you're on a date with me, we're trying to get to know each other. Why is this whole date about your ex? Like, are you over him or her, or what are we doing? And also, I think, of course, it's normal if you do make some conversations as pertaining to. So, for example, oh, in my past relationship, this is so how we dissolved our relationship or marriage, etc. But if it keeps going on and on, then that's not okay. And most especially, guys, watch out for guys who always say something negative about all their exes. You can't tell me all your exes from A to Z were bad. Like, if they were all bad, then maybe it's you and it's not them. Moving on to the second signs to watch out for would be love bombing. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? You know, you're dating and suddenly they start showering you with presents left and right. Like, you know, especially on the first day when a guy, you haven't met them, maybe you've been talking to them online or you met them through a friend, and the first day you get a huge ass bouquet of flowers. Like, it's so huge, you're just overwhelmed. You don't know what to do. You're just kind of like, okay, I guess, thank you. But it's different. And then suddenly they fly you out these, like, it's just so hiding up in the beginning. And why I say it's a red flag is because somehow it's a way to manipulate you into you always, you're just sort of like always a yes person to them because they give you everything. So it's almost like, why should anything be wrong with me? Does that make sense? So I think love bombing is a thing to watch out for. But hey, I love gifts myself, so it should come in, but just not to the point where I can't express how I feel, if you know what I mean. Another sign to watch out for would be, I guess, when you're more so in a relationship, you know, guys or girls that would stop you from meeting your friends. They want to kind of isolate you from your friends and family. That is a big ass red sign. Like, no, that's too much, because I do feel like you met me with my people when we were together, and suddenly you only want to spend like 247 with me. Like, when I see my friends, it's a problem. Or you're trying to, because sometimes, okay, I do know like some friends could be, quotation mark as people call it today, toxic. You know, those friends that are like, oh, don't be with him, don't be with her. All right, I understand, but you can't tell me that all the people you're surrounded by, your friends and family, are all toxic, and suddenly your partner doesn't want you to be with them. Like, that's something to watch out for, because at the end of the day, if this relationship doesn't work out, where are you gonna go? To those friends that you left? So I do feel like it's healthy to kind of have a balance between spending time with your partner, likewise also spending time with your friends and or family. So yeah. Another sign that I do tend to watch out for myself, I don't know about you, would be somebody who cancels plans last minute. And I don't mean like one time, two times, three times. Like, this is red flag when you're dating, because I do feel like it sort of connotes that they don't respect your time or they don't respect you as a person. So it's just like, hey, I took my time to prep myself and everything, and here you are canceling last minute. Another sign that I would also put in there would be somebody who pushes your boundaries. They don't respect your boundaries. For me, this is a no, no, no. You know, sometimes there are those people, you tell them no once, they keep looking for other avenues to kind of change your mind to be a yes. But like, every time if you keep pushing, it almost means they don't respect your boundaries and they want to keep pushing you to the limit. And if you do fall for that, what else are you going to fall for? You fall for anything. So I do feel like it's necessary in a relationship for people to respect your boundaries. Like, when you say no, then okay, it's a no. There can always be, is there a way, is there a possibility to change your mind or to make it to a yes? If someone says, yeah, maybe if you do give me more reasons or evidence, I might change my mind. Or actually, this is where I draw the line. I do not want to change my views on, maybe when it comes to religion, I don't know, when it comes to politics or whatever reason, beliefs and other things, family values. There are some things that are non-negotiable. Yes. Last point when it comes to red flag would be a relationship that's kept secretive. Ooh, yes, you guys were not expecting that, were you? And guys, yes, I know you're saying, well, but I don't want people to, chime into our relationship in the beginning. There's a difference between a private relationship and a secret relationship. Like, if a guy keeps calling you at 2 a.m. in the morning to come over to the house, or in the evening to Netflix and chill all the damn time, he doesn't take you out to the cinema to, I don't know, get burger, even if he doesn't have the money to take you to a proper restaurant, and he just wants to stay home, that's something to watch out for. That, in my book, is a red flag, because no, we're not about to start this relationship based off of secretness. And a lot of people also, it can also chime or trickle down to guys who would never show you to their friends. Yes, they tell you, I don't have friends, or I just have one friend that lives in Chinatown, I don't know where. And you're like, damn. So they only meet your friends, but you don't meet their friends. That is a secret. It means they either have a different life with somebody else that knows their friends, or they're just not sure about you, darling. And hey, if someone is not sure about you, it's high time to just exit that relationship or that situationship. Like, cut it. I remember another bonus red sign to watch out for would be mama's boy. Yes, I do feel like, okay, guys, don't come for me. Let me explain myself, okay? I'm going here. I'm going somewhere with this. I do feel like, yes, okay, I'm a daddy's girl too. Yeah, we get it. You can be a mom's, I don't know, son, boy, whatever. But when I say mama's boy, I mean, there are guys who wouldn't listen to anybody other than their mother, or they're waiting for their mother's approval to do something, or there's an unghetto story I need to tell you. There was a time I used to date someone, yeah. And this person, like, I could tell him, like, hey, 1+1 is 2. And he'll say no. But when his mother says, oh, 1+1, by the way, is 2. But, oh, right, yeah, it's 2. And I'm like, but I just told you that like 2 days ago. It's like, well, my mom is always right. And I'm like, wow. Like, there was a time before I met him, he will always, after work, go to his mother's place. She'll have this sandwich for him. Like, he will eat, like, she always prepped meals for him. And this guy is like, what, almost 40. Can you believe? And I'm just like, wow, boy, like, you're so dependent on your parents. And it almost makes it really hard for girls coming into the relationship, because it feels like you're competing, or they compare you to them, almost like you're not good enough, or, oh, you need to treat me like the way my mother treats me. And that's not the relationship I want, child. Like, no, I'm a girlfriend, not your mother. I'm not here to mother you. Like, if you want your mother, yeah, go to her, but don't like compare us together, or try to put us side by side, or try to come for me looking for that motherly comfort, so that way you stop, I don't know, being so clingy to your mother. So I don't know, that's a red flag. That's a red flag. So anyways, enough about red flags, okay? Let's turn to green flags. What are the check? This is it. Yeah, like, this guy, this girl is compatible for me. The first would be somebody who matches their actions to their words. Yes, like, there is no better feelings with somebody saying they're going to do something and they actually do it. When the action is actually matching the word, I think that's so sexy. That's something to praise, and that's a green flag. Yes. Another sign that I think it's an amazing sign when you're in a relationship is someone who takes responsibility, who's accountable. I think this is really, really important in a relationship, because many a times couples, they do tend to blame the other person for whatever is happening. They never also look inwards into, yeah, maybe someone is doing something wrong to you, but you being in that actual relationship is, in other words, telling you were receiving that crap and you were actually enabling them. So I think both couples, when they can also take responsibility, like, yeah, I'm also at fault because I let you do this. I let this slide. That's you taking that accountability from that aspect. But it should be better also if the person who's actually doing the action is saying, hey, I'm sorry, this is my bad. I was doing this to you. I hurt you. I did this to hurt you. Not just saying, I'm sorry, but why are you actually sorry? What are you sorry about? Then that's a perfect sign. That's amazing. So yeah. I think also another sign to also feel like this is a great quality would be, having the perfect balance. When you spend time together and also you spend time apart, but the energy is still there. Like, this is amazing. This is amazing because, no one is making the other person feel shitty or crappy about spending time with your friends or family or during the holidays. And they say, oh, you're not here with me. Oh, you're supposed to be. Why are you doing this? Why are you with your friend on this? It's our birthday, And I think that's amazing when you have that healthy balance. I'm like an advocate for healthy balance. When you spend some time with friends and family and also spend time with your partner, I think this is amazing. I think you need both relationship, because there are some things that your close friend will give to you that maybe you can't get that from your partner, or something you get from your family that kind of boosts you and makes you a better person, a better friend, a better daughter, a better spouse, that maybe your partner can't give you. So I think it's better to always have this balance. Another sign to, I think, be appreciative or praise your partner for is when you both have communication. Like, communication skills is very paramount into making a relationship successful. And I do feel like nowadays we really don't have a good way of communicating. All we do is just conflict and conflict and more conflict. So I do feel like there's a healthy way to have a communication that can actually lead to a very productive solution, to better the relationship. Because at the end of the day, if you're always saying you're right, like, you're both wrong, and it's not going to do anything for the relationship. So yeah, communication is an amazing green flag to be very aware of and to actually appreciate in a relationship. So yeah, up for green flags. Also, I think another sign that I think is great and it's very sexy in a relationship is being able to be yourself. Like, oh my goodness, there's no better feeling than being able to be yourself and the other person just accepting like who you are. I love that. Like, that's amazing. That's amazing. Like, being able to put that mask down. And I think it's great in the beginning when you're dating, because many a times a lot of people hide their, I don't know, maybe their deepest fear of vulnerability, and way later in the relationship it comes out, and it might be a lot for the other partner because they weren't used to this in the beginning. So I do think, of course, don't share everything in the beginning, but do give here bits and bits of who makes you who you are, and it will also show yourself. Be your true self, and the right person will gravitate towards that. And when they do, that's a green flag. And the last but not the least is when a couple do have the same goal. And I mean that when you both work towards achieving the same goal in the future. I don't know if you have 2 years plans, 5 years plans, at something like, a lot of people, sometimes you're dating just for dating. You're dating just for partnership, but not for like family. Like, there's some people, they just dating, but maybe one person wants marriage. The other person wants kids. It's not correlating, because maybe one doesn't want to get married to you. He or she doesn't believe in marriage because of the past. I don't know what. So I think this is really important in the beginning to kind of know, like, what is our end goal? Like, do we want to have, multiple estates? Like, are we working to making that bank more bankable, add more money in the bank? So are we working into creating a life for a family, or even creating a family, a home? Or are we working towards, exploring the world, creating adventures, memories? So you need to make sure that your priorities are sort of aligning towards reaching the same goal as a couple. So yes, when we're back, we'll dive right into orange flags. And, orange flags are sort of, I guess, in between. There's something that might be alarming, or that might be just an orange flag. Like, they don't really mean that it's going to keep reoccurring. It just happened. It was situational, and that's just that. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back. Today's episode is sponsored by TLC Candles and More. With me here, I have, I think, yes, Green Detox. This scent is amazing. Reminds me of aromatic fragrances, kind of like spa-ish, winding down, citrusy. Love this. Love this. There are four fragrances: silky, vanilla cookie, and here I believe this is woodland. Wow. Smells like fall. Yes, like autumn, like woody vibe, the woods, the foresty, very cozy. And I think it's only fair to light this candle up. Welcome back, guys. So where were we? We were on orange flags. Yes. So this, as I mentioned earlier, it's just an in-between You just have to discern for yourself how heavy it weighs on you and how it impacts you. So I'll give you examples. So for example, clingy partners, for example, this could be just an orange flag, meaning that it's just maybe in the beginning stage because you guys are dating, you know, there's this infatuation, as I said before, this honeymoon phase. So you wanting to spend 2-4-7 together, cuddle in. It's cute, you know, but you can't really tell if it's gonna be turned into something such as obsession, like in the future. Then they don't want you going out anywhere, or you know, they just want you everywhere and anywhere. And I think so that's something to not put so much, but also just be aware of, to observe. And this is why I would say you need friends, like close friends that you really can trust, because they will be able to also kind of tell you if they notice something in there, like, hey, this is weird, because whenever he's like this, or whenever you come back from him, you start acting like this, or it's strange, you know, they start telling you things that they notice. And I think, of course, you shouldn't always run with whatever a friend tells you and you just he says is this, then you run with it. No. But you can just be like, oh, thank you, I received that, I'll think about it, I'll ponder on that. And then you try to retract your steps and see how, you know, your partner has been, and kind of see if there's a correlation, if you see a pattern, like it's been reoccurring. Because sometimes we don't see things, you know, sometimes people need to see, they see from outside perspective into ours. So I think it's something to always take into consideration, so they can kind of give you a different perspective, and you can look inwards into the relationship and be like, okay, it's okay, it's fine. Like it's not really bothering me. It's not really impacting me in a negative way or affecting me, so I can let it go. Or, oh, I'm feeling some type of way, so let's address it. That's the next thing, how to fix this type of, you know, orange flags or even red flags. Hey, if you do see something that really bothers you, I think the only way to resolve it would be just, you know, confronting it and finding a way to resolve it. Not just because there's some people, you know, because sometimes some actions trigger people a lot. So when they see some certain signs, they just they sprint away, they just run. And the person is just like, wait, things were great, we were good, we were talking, and next I'm blocked, or I can't reach out, or I can't see. And they don't know that maybe it was something they did that have impacted the other person. So I think we do owe it to them, you know, also to ourselves, to just kind of also let them know, if we don't want to, you know, maybe move on with the relationship, at least give them disclosure, so they can always say, okay, I messed up in this area, or it was my fault, or it wasn't, or okay, and they do whatever with that information, whatever you give to them. But I think not everything we should jet off. Now, there are some red flags you need to run away. Like, I don't know, when it comes to abuse and things like that, hey, this I want no part in. So by all means, run if you have to. You can just text while you're like, hey, you're this is not for me, but like, you're gone. But there's some things, you know, maybe some people with their insecurities, they project it out on you. You can sit with them and say, hey, this is how you make me feel when you do certain things. Always express how you feel. So I'm going to be lighting this woodland fragrance because it matches the interior and the set of today. And I believe how to better care for this is light this for at least 2 to 3 hours, so that way it's fully dispersed and the smell kind of circulates around the space. You can get the full effect. And also trim it with a candle wick trimmer. It's better for future, so that way it doesn't give like this little, you know, smoke that comes out. And I believe that's it. And also, when you want to switch it off, remember to always use this and never this with the blow. So few ways, and you're welcome. Welcome back, guys. So to wrap everything up, I'm actually interested to know what your opinion are. So please do comment on Ungetter Stories in the comment section what you think, what your favorite parts were, and what you do relate to, and what you think you don't relate to. Hey, all comments are welcome. Okay. So before ending this, I'm going to pull out my phone and go through the questions that the audience had to say. So, out of your questions, we pulled out just three really great questions. And guys, I'm an unlicensed therapist, okay? Unlicensed. May I repeat that? So, this is just from my perspective. So, what might work for me might not work for you guys. So the first question is, how do I handle an aggressive confrontation? Everybody is different in a relationship. We do have different personalities. So there's some people, they're like confrontational, whilst others are like avoidance. They don't want to talk about anything. There's some people, they just want to head on. So I think the first thing is always finding the right time. Not every place or everywhere, I don't know, is the right place and time for certain things. So sometimes it's always better to give someone a heads up, like, hey, when would be the best time to have a conversation? Or I would like to have a conversation with you. When would be the right time? So you put a little time frame, like, oh, this evening when we're back, or after dinner. Now, when you're going to talk about something, I do feel like, and I'm speaking from the, aggressor. So if you're an aggressive person, or maybe your tone comes out as aggressive, I would say that you should always go with the intention of, hey, I'm not trying to attack you or bash you. I'm just telling you how I feel about these certain things. It doesn't mean you're a bad person, or I think you're amazing. You put all the plus, plus, plus in the beginning. So that way the other person can, let their guard down a little bit, because they already know you're about to have a conversation. So they're already like tensed. So that's the first thing. And then you express how you feel and what you think. And when you finish, tell the person, like, what do you think about this? Like, with all I've said, like, how can we resolve this, or how can we move forward? So that way you bounce it back to the other person. Because the worst part is you talk, and they don't listen. They just, it's coming in here, going out the other ear. So I think that's the first thing. But if someone is aggressive to you and you've tried to, tell them, hey, this is getting nowhere. It's becoming a little bit aggressive for me. I think I need some time off to cool off, and we can come back to this conversation again. Or this is becoming unproductive, so let's find another time for this. Or I'm going to check out now and come back later after 5 minutes and we talk about it. Because also, you don't want to trigger the other person when the said aggressor maybe spoke out their feelings, and you're like, oh, this is too much, I can't handle it, or it's too aggressive for me, I need to check out. It further triggers them to maybe, we're gonna have this conversation now, like today, da 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 da. So it's very tricky stuff. So I'm coming from different point of view, so I don't know what your situation is exactly. So if someone is very maybe aggressive in a more threatening manner, then I would say, hey, you need to pull yourself out of that situation, no doubt. But maybe if it's from the tone, you need to tell them, please watch the way you speak to me, or calm down, or I need a more calmer tone, or I'm not going to sit here if you keep speaking to me in this manner. So you're telling them your boundary. If they do it again, you say, oh, this is the second time you're doing this. The third time, I'm getting up and leaving. So they expect that you're going to do this, and you need to follow through with what you say. Because if you keep sitting and they keep doing it, then they just keep doing it. Like I said, you don't want someone that keeps pushing your boundaries. They need to respect your boundaries. So if it keeps like this, just get up and walk off and say, hey, when you're calm or you're ready to have a grown-up conversation or in a healthy conversation, let me know. I'll come back and we'll discuss this, or we'll discuss this another time, because it's not going anywhere. It's not productive. It's not fruitful. So there's no point just going back and forth. So, hey, this is my way of how I will handle an aggressive confrontation, So I don't know what your opinion is, so please do share if you agree with this or not. The second question is, this is more This is more deep. My partner does drug. Shall I run away or stay and try to fix it? It differs from everybody. There's some people that I don't know what kind of, hey, in quotation mark, drugs we're talking about. So if it's the usual, Jamaican stuff, to some people it's pretty lightweight. To others, it's a big deal. So I do feel like, of course, in the beginning when you're dating, you should tell the other person how you get your, how you relax yourself, or if you love drinking wine, or if you love smoking this or doing that. So the other person already has, their information of what to do with this, like, okay, I can tolerate that, oh, I'm fine, it doesn't bother me or anything. I think it's not fair if they find out in the relationship that you do certain things like this, because it could make or break for them. Maybe there's some people that are like, hey, I don't want to be with someone that does this or that drinks or that do this. So it's always better to talk about this in the beginning. So if your partner does drugs, and my question is, did you know in the beginning and then you anyways ride with this? Because at the end of the day, you'll never change somebody, so they have to change themselves. That being said, if you knew this in the beginning, then hey, it's not really on the other person, because you knew about this. So I don't know, you have to decide if you want to stay with this or if you want to walk away. Have the knowledge to know everything about you and have the wisdom to discern how to use what you have. So that's all I'm going to say on this matter, okay? Anyways, the last but not the least, because these questions are deep. If my partner, okay, we have amazing relationship, but I haven't met his kids. If someone really wants to have a future with you, like I said, we need to know what kind of relationship you guys have been building in the beginning. Is it something that you guys have been very vocal about, that you have the same goals about reaching a common goal, having a family in the future? Then of course it's a no-brainer that at some point you need to meet his or her kids, for that matter. So I do feel like in the beginning, if it bothers you, ask them like, when would be the time? When will you introduce me to your kids? So that way you have that thing. Because I do understand that for a lot of partners, they want to take their time to know like, this is the right person I'm with. They just don't want to like introduce their kids to any and everybody that comes around, because hey, it might be a little bit also traumatic for the child, like, hey, this one came left, and it's a lot of energy, it soaks in a lot of energy. Kids gravitate towards energy. So if they love you and it doesn't work out between his or her um parent and the partner, then it sucks for the child, because the child is also heartbroken, not just the parent. So I know that that's very sensitive, but at the same time, have a conversation with the person, because there's some people, they really take their time. But I feel like, of course, it should be within 6 months. And I mean like 6 months, like you guys are going in and out, like constantly, yourself, you're traveling, this, that, like you're really locked in. I don't mean like, 6 months, like you'll see each other once a month, because there's not so much to really know within this time frame. And also, I feel like a lot of people, they show maybe within a year, and that also can be like, maybe he really isn't sure if I'm the one for him. And sometimes you shouldn't stick around also, because maybe it just shows you're just not the one. Maybe they've seen some behaviors and they're like, I don't know if this is gonna suit, my kid or her lifestyle, and this type of stuff. So have a conversation with the person to see. And if it's something, maybe you're not doing well, maybe this person can tell you, yeah, because so I'm not really sure, I'm taking time away. Or if you can rectify or work on this behavior, then we'll see. Like as time goes on, I'll see if you have this quality as a parent or responsible person, might say, and then I could be able to introduce you to my kids. So that could be a way out. I mean, hey, there's different way to solve this. So hey, I'm not parent, I'm no parent myself, but I'm saying from the other point of view, as someone who has dated partners with kids. So I understood. For me, I always will introduce to the kids because, hey, I'm awesome. But I don't think also, I think maybe because also I showed a level of responsibility, a level of maturedness, a level of, there's sometimes there's some things you do with your partner when you're alone, and there's some things how to act when you're with kids or other people. You need to carry yourself with a different way. And that's how it's supposed to be. The kids need to feel comfortable with you and things like that. Sometimes kids might not feel comfortable with you. You need to give them their time and their space to adjust and come around. So, hey, if you're in an amazing relationship, I don't think it's something to cut it off right now. I think just give it time and be vocal with your partner about what you need and want to move on in the relationship, and set a timeline when you would like this to happen, because, hey, you want to feel like you're part of the family. And sometimes it's usually also not dependent on this partner. Maybe it's dependent on the other partner of the kid. So that's also something to take into consideration. There's sometimes you need to meet the other parent or not. So it's something that you need to be very sensitive about and take with precautions. With that being said, my lovers, thank you so much for this amazing time. I really, really so love it, and I can't wait to bring more and more juicy episodes your way. So with that being said, follow us on Insta. Everything is in this comment on Ghetto Stories, and sending you much love and light. It's your girl Agnesita, and bye for now. Thank you so much again, TLC Candles and More, for sponsoring. And guys, you can find the link in the description below. Shop away, guys. Mwah. Today I'm wearing the leather top from Arhe Shades collection by Krystyna Hannon, the denim jacket from Zara TRF collection, fall 2023, and the leather tie-high boot from H&M, fall winter 2023, and just some gold accessory to accessorize for better effect. Tell me what you think in the comment below. Mwah.